Hey guys, welcome back to a fabulous show that is slated today. Of course, it's going to be on the Living Day by Day show. I like to call it the LDBD. Y'all know we bring you nothing but the raw and the real and the best of the best. So welcome again to the Living Day by Day show. This your girl, Elder Lakiva Wallace. I'm excited about what God has slated for the show tonight. I'm excited about what God is doing in your life as well, because God is no respecter of person. What he does in my life, he can come on over to your address and do the same thing, and he might even decide to do greater. And no haterade over here, because I understand that God can do what he wants to do. So again, I'm excited about what God is doing on the set of the Living Day by Day show. I must say and talk about the third annual Women on the Battlefield Conference. But before I do this, y'all know I never rock alone, because y'all be tripping sometimes, and I have to have some backup in the room. So it brings me great pleasure to introduce to the supporters and the listeners of the Living Day by Day show right here on 108 Praise Radio, my backup, and that's none other than Preach, Elder Brown. Preach. What's up, sir?
What's going down up in this piece? And who bothers you? Who? Put a name on it.
Who's there? What?
Put a name on it. What's
but
up,
y'all know we always, what is going on, right? Talk to the people, Elder Brown.
I want them to know it's going down. Let me tell you, you have already tuned in to the baddest show on this side of green grass that is growing in your backyard with some of them bald spots, but it's going down no matter what. Tell everybody it's voicing the gospel. We all up through this piece. Let them know we are live. And if you do me a favor, I promise if you share, you're going to feel real good.
Wow, because God does it real good. And y'all know we cannot rock alone. We could, but we choose not to. And so we have another co-host that's in the building, and that's none other than the funny, the hilarious comedian, Eric E. Love Jordan. What's up, E?
Wakanda forever! I'm been doing that forever. I love that movie. Black Panther, what's up, people? Man, all my black people, my white people, my Hispanic people. Yes, what's going on? I'm super excited. It's another day. Another day in Zamunda. Let's get it.
Zamunda.
He be sounding like we didn't just release him out to the wild.
I'm serious. He sound like it's his first day out of prison, right?
Yeah, let me go.
Crazy. But we're excited. This is a team, guys. I promise you, when God puts together a team, he puts nothing but the best together. So I'm excited just to have the opportunity to share another day on the airways and to be able to just come out and bless you where you are in your home. Some of y'all probably at work listening too, but that's okay. Just make sure your boss don't see you. Make sure your boss don't see you. But anyway, let's talk about, for just a small second before we get into the hot topics with comedian Eric Jordan, the third annual Women on the Battlefield Conference. If you were not in the building, you missed it. You definitely missed golf. Got to say it like that. It was absolutely amazing. It was amazing, from the panel discussion right on into the guest speaker, the guest psalmist. It was absolutely phenomenal. God moved into place. I promise you he did. But let's talk about the panel discussion. I mean, we had some great dialogue going on. People were really commenting on the panel discussion. Courtney Smith did an awesome job facilitating the panel discussion. So kudos to Courtney for just, stepping in and just being a part of the vision that God has given me. And, of course, Bishop Eric Lord tore the place up. When I say tore the place up, he tore the place up. And I'm just excited about the power and the anointing to be able to experience that was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So we had some fun times. We had some fun times at the third annual Women on the Battlefield Conference. We are in the midst of planning now for the fourth annual Women on the Battlefield Conference. Also something special coming in October. Can't say it yet, but it's coming. God is just doing some great things. So stay tuned for that. So And then also we're going to have a youth explosion that's going to take place April 27th. The flyer should be forthcoming for that as well. God just, doing what he do best, and that is just to, deliver, heal, set up, set free, all that good stuff. So just make sure that you are somewhere in the building, somewhere to be able to get some information about what's going on. So, but let's get into the hot topics. I can talk forever, but I know comedian Eric Jordan has some hot topics for the listeners and the supporters of the Living Day by Day show. So, tossing the mic over to you, E.
Man, what's going on, people? Today's Entertainment Report is brought to you by, and it's brought to you by, yeah, exactly. Because what's going on in the world today, man? Donald Trump. Oh my God. Y'all president that lost another person is leaving the White House. And this man, 21 people don't resign from their post. That is 10 times as many as in the Bush years, and it's twice as many as people left when President Obama was in office. The latest person that's leaving right now is Hope Hicks. They say this is very detrimental to Donald Trump because this is the person that he was his sounding board. The person that, say, hey, he said, what do you think about this? What do you think about this idea? What do you think about this? Now he doesn't really have anybody to do that. We may see who's going to step into that role next. But we'll see. But this is crazy. Over 21 people have left the White House alone. I need something going on. Everybody jumping ship. You got that many people leaving that fast? He ain't been in office in 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Is it a year change?
Let's be clear, okay? And we know he tweets all about different comments, which what president does that? Like, let's just be clear. Those who voted for him, I'm sure they're having second opinions right now. There's probably second guessing, what did we do? I mean, what did we do? Because, then he even came out Oprah, like, come on now. I don't get it with him. I don't, we don't blacken anybody's character here on the Living Day by Day show, but we just tell it like it is. You should, as a president, we hold you, regardless of if you voted for him or not, he is due respect. But just as he is due respect, the American people are due the same respect. And the respect that he wants is not the respect that he's giving out whatsoever. So I can't even imagine to work closely with him like that in the White House. You say 21 people left already?
Yeah.
Well, let me dive up in here because, respect is given, of course, when respect is due. We've gotten this. We've been called out of our name. Countries have been called SHIT holes. The Christian community have been looked down. Other nationalities have been called out their names. Religions have been disrespected. This Preacher Brown, listen, man, you ain't gave me no respect. Don't expect to get it back in return. However, I will tell you this, Mr. Donald Trump. I will tell you this. The people that support you are the people who support your views. And it's time that the Christian community, the Muslim community, the Catholic community, broke down and busted community, whoever you are, if you have supported this man, you have supported his views. Now, it's kind of too late now to saying I'm going to get on the other bandwagon because you now put your name on this man. So now you have to play this thing out. Either he's thrown out of office or you got to wait to 2020. But at the end of the day, we're going to pray and pray that God comes in and do a thing. I'm out of it. That's my take on it. I'm out of it. Pass it back to you.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, Princess. I respect the office. I ain't got to respect the person. But, I think that you can look at any views, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in homosexual, but I have people that I know that are, and I love and I love them. I don't have to like what they do.
Right.
Yeah. And I would love them to the fullest, but I don't have to like the actions they're taking. Yeah.
Right.
So that's one topic. And then also, shout out to the kids that are going back to school after that. horrendous killing that young man did. 17 people died in that school down in Florida, and the kids are going back to school. You know, some kids said they're not ready to go to school. Some kids did go back to school, but just wanted to give prayers to those ones that are brave enough to go back, the family members that are brave to allow their children to go back. And, you know, and it brings up the understanding, man, what are we going to do about, you know, safety in our school? You know, are we going to start taking this thing serious? Or are we just going to keep playing around with it? Or what are we going to do? How many more lives got to be lost, you know, for us to say, hey, you know, enough is enough. And, you know, we're going to follow up on leads and make sure that, you know, when somebody say, oh, this is suspicious, are we going to go ahead and check that out? Or we're just going to just fight over it and say, we'll see what happens.
Right. I mean, I definitely think something needs to be done, you know, because you're right. We can't keep losing children over this. You know, somebody going into the school just going postal. You just can't do that. Something has to be put in place. But I will say this, and this is on the same lines, but maybe not. You know, I'm a little disturbed how, if you have been watching the news, I'm sure you have because you're reporting the news, how when they bring out the guy who killed, the young man who did all the killing, do you see how they are consoling him and hugging him and, you know, making sure he's okay and he's mentally disturbed and all that kind of stuff? I got a problem with that. Yeah. Because I said, now, if this was I'm going to say it because y'all know I'm transparent. If this was an African-American young man who would have done the like, man, y'all have brought him in shackles around the neck. Y'all probably would have been dragging him in. Wouldn't nobody have put their hands around him to hug him? You better believe that. That would not have happened at all. When I saw that twice,
they wouldn't need no shackles. He'd be dead.
He'd be dead. You're right. They wouldn't have. You notice how when they noticed who they were looking for and they found him. How come y'all ain't? And I ain't saying take nobody's life. I'm not saying that. That's not my. That's not my makeup. I would never say that. Black, white, green, orange. But why is it all the time that when it's a black man, you shoot to kill? But now it's a white person that's doing all this killing, you just bring him in. Then when you bring him in, you're consoling him. Oh, it's him. Like, come on now, I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, the way, I thought that was way.
It's white privilege. I'm sorry, but, you know, you got to look at it. How is that this little white kid can get all these guns and he's not flagged? If that would been me and you, we wouldn't have got the first gun. It was going to take a couple of days to get it. The police would have been at our house. You know, why didn't you get a pistol? Why did you want to choose? What do you need these guns for?
I got an issue with the fact that, here's the thing. If you commit a crime that you can be charged as an adult, first off, this dude ain't no kid no more. He done walked in here with an AK-47. You have surpassed being a kid. You now gonna get treated like a grown man. You're gonna be now treated like a thug. He ain't no kid. He may be a kid by age, but that mentality of taking that gun in there, let me tell you something. He went in there, he had a plan, he had a mission, he wasn't thinking like a kid, so why treat him like a kid?
Well, they want to charge him because he's saying he's 18, but a lot of people have been armed like, well, no, now, why aren't you charging him in with adult status? You know, you want to charge him as a kid. But he's at the legal age where he can be charged as an adult.
Yeah. I definitely think he needs some mental counseling. I'm certainly not saying that, but I'm just in comparison, if this kid was black, he would not be on the news to go to court. That wouldn't happen. It just would not happen because I was driving a couple of days ago just thinking about why do police shoot to kill some, but then shoot to stop others, or don't shoot at all?
Uh-oh.
You think about that. Why does that happen? You automatically shoot to kill when it's dark, but when it's light, you either shoot to stop or you don't shoot at all. It's reality. We don't really want to talk about it, but it's reality. There's no racist bone in none of us whatsoever. We love all people, but reality is the reality. It is hard in America for African American, especially period, but especially African American boys, men.
Right.
Super duper harder for them, and I just, I said when I saw that, I mean, you embracing him like, he just won the lottery or something. Like, I mean, I don't get that.
Right.
I mean, if you look back when he first was arrested, they brought him in for his first court appearance, and they were consoling him, like, putting their arm around him, and I said, what is this? I don't get that.
Wow.
And again, I'm not judging nobody whatsoever, but just look at that. I don't think the outcome would have been the same had it been an African-American young boy. I don't.
Hey, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. And we all know that for a fact.
You've got this open for a few moments before we go to break. Listen, guys, you're listening to the Hot Topic section with comedian Eric Jordan. If you want to chime in for a few moments, you got to call now. 770-988-6461. That's 770-988-6461. If you want to chime in real quick on this hot topic right before comedian E-Love finishes with this segment here, we're just discussing hot topics. So if you want to call in real quick, chime in at 770-988-6461. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then lastly, while we wait for people to call in, my last hot topic is the best one of all of the day for me. I'm in a play. Talk about me. Yeah, I'm in a play. It's called What God Would Allows. I'm super excited. It's going to be next Friday and Saturday. Is at the Kroc Center. That is at 967 Dewey Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia 30310. I have tickets right now for the Saturday show, either at 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. So the tickets are $20. You can hit me up on Facebook, or you can DM me on Instagram if you want tickets. I can leave them at the door for you and put your name on the ticket. I'll put respect on your name right on that ticket, and you can get there. So y'all come support this wonderful cast members. I am also in the play, but I'm also hosting. Yes, they got a brother being like a Mexican. I got several jobs. So you in the play, they got a brother working. They got a brother working. They got a brother working.
Wow. Mexican E-Love Jordan. How much are the tickets, sir?
20 pesos. $20.
See.
But the phrase about what God would allow, it's like taken from the story of Job.
You keep playing with that. Donald gonna fool around and deport you.
I got my green card. He can't get me.
Oh God!
I ain't American.
See, that's wait.
I see the wall. I can see the wall out my window. I can see the wall.
I can see the wall. You let me put some stuff up.
See, that ain't no. That ain't right. That's not right.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna get on out of there.
You know what? You know why I can only do that? Because I have Hispanic people in my family, so that's how they talk. So I can do that for real. So hey, I love your family. Sure do. I got African too. I would not build the wall.
That's way too much. So,
yeah.
Well, guys, that has been an amazing segment for our hot topics, and we were hoping that you would, chime in. You can still, Facebook us, tweet us, all that good stuff, Instagram, and let us know what your thoughts are about the hot topics. Either one of the hot topics, please chime in on those. Of course, we want you to buy the ticket so you can support all that God is doing for comedian E-Love. But we have got to go into a commercial break. But when we come back, guys, we are going to be talking to you about your money. We are going to be talking about how your money been acting funny and your change is strange. We're going to be talking about how you can get some money in your pocket. And we have an amazing guest that is going to be a part of the show today. I'm serious. Y'all need to Facebook somebody. Y'all need to call somebody. You need to tweet somebody. I mean, I always say y'all going to gossip anyway. So gossip about this. If your money ain't right, you need to make sure you call into the Living Day by Day show right here on 108 Praise Radio. We have none other than Antonio Eubanks, who is a certified financial life Coach, meaning he can get your money right for life. Boy, that was good. I need to get a check for that. So we're going to go into a commercial break, but I promise you we will be coming right back. So stay tuned to the Living Day by Day show right here on 108 Praise Radio. guys, welcome back to the Living Day by Day show. If you missed the first segment, I tell you, you truly have missed it. We always have an exciting time in all of our segments, but the first segment, we were talking about a lot of hot topics. I promise you, you're going to have to make sure that you hit the replay when the show is over, because it was definitely some good stuff, some real good stuff. Help me welcome back also to the set the other host, and that's none other than Preach Elder Brown Preach and comedian Eric. What's up, y'all?
Oh, we back.
Man. We back.
We are back. But we are coming back. I told y'all before when we were going on break that we were coming back to talk about your money. Yes, your money. We coming back. So you can stop borrowing money from Kiki and Ray Ray and Jaquita.
Wait a minute. Kiki. You didn't tell me you were going to tell on us now. You didn't tell us.
Kiki has been good to me. Kiki has been good to me.
Don't leave Kiki money alone.
I owe Kiki $5 right now. Go, Kiki.
Ray Ray still owe me $20, so I hope the right folks can help me on this one.
And that's the whole reason why I'm so excited to present to some and introduce to others our amazing guest that we have slated for this show today to talk about how you can get your money right, and that's none other than Mr. Antonio Eubanks, Certified Financial Life Coach. Mr. Eubanks, welcome to the Day by Day show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So I need to find this banker Kiki that everybody talking about.
You need to borrow some money, right? Can I get some money so I can invest in something?
Right. It's kind of like banker Kiki.
Oh, Kiki will get $5 though. She only give you $5. That's it. And she charge you 20% interest. So
you don't want that.
No. I need to withdraw my request from Kiki.
Withdraw real quick, right?
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit before we even kind of get into, some questions about financial management, questions about savings and checking and all that kind of stuff. Just take about 30 seconds or so and tell the listeners and the supporters of the Living Day by Day show and 108 Praise Radio who Mr. Antonio Eubanks is.
Well, first of all, my name again is Antonio Eubanks, and I'm with 360 Finance. That is a financial literacy and coaching company where I help people learn to manage their money so that their money does not manage them. And that's so important to me because money makes a wonderful servant, but it makes a horrible master. So we have to really learn how to manage our money properly. And I do that by three components of one, by helping people learn how to establish their wealth, which means getting your spending plan in order, your taxes, your credit, things like that. Then we elevate to increasing your wealth, which is investing your money or starting a business. And lastly, leaving off with sharing your wealth, which is establishing a legacy, because, we can't take it with us, but we can definitely leave it behind for somebody else. And all of that came about from just basically from my life and going through certain situations financially, having a decent income and good job, but coming outside of my house and my car is repoed. Or I know people making less than what I make, but some kind of way they're buying a house. But like I said, I got a repoed house, a repoed car, and, bill collectors. I don't want to answer my phone, don't want to answer my door. So it came a point in my life where I had to decide it's something about this financial game that somebody didn't tell me, because it's not that I don't have enough money. Of course, we can always use more, but, we have to be faithful with a little to be made ruler over much. So I had to figure out, what is it that, that I don't know. So I just really took it upon myself to really just dig in and find out over years and years and years of studying. And then, of course, later on, I, decided to really get, some credentials behind. That's where the certification comes, because I didn't want to just be out there just, saying stuff and not really having weight behind it. So that's a little bit of where I come from.
Right. So I want to talk a little bit about, there are a select group of people that are out there that may be struggling. They don't really know how to transition from where they are to where they really want to be. They don't have, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have money to invest. How do they get out of the rut? I mean, how do you really take the $5 that you have and make that something when you need the $5? You have no money to invest. Some people say you have to invest. You have to find money to invest. And so how do you get out of the rat race and the rut and move into financial freedom?
Right, that's good. And what you say is very true. And I always tell people I never discount, someone's financial situation, because I mean everybody, that there's a such thing called struggling, and I get that, However, I also, put an asterisk on that a lot of times when I'm dealing with people, because, the first thing I'll ask them, like, do you have a cell phone? And most people say, yeah. And I say, well, is it the most up-to-date one? And they say, yeah. So basically, you're telling me that you have an $800 to $1,000 phone in your hand, right? So to me, that lets me know that you don't necessarily have a money problem, because not only do you have an $800, $1,000 phone, but you have a data plan and a contract or whatever, phone bill tied to that, right? So the first thing I always have to help people do is they have to write a reality check. That's the first check you have to really write, is a reality check to really realize I'm not as bad off as I think I may be. Now, again, I'm not discounting true struggling, because there are people that are truly struggling. But for the most part, in dealing with people, I found out that it's really not a financial problem. It's really more so of a behavioral problem. Personal finance is just that. It's personal. And therefore, that means it's 80% mentality and 20% numbers. Because 1 plus 1 is going to always equal 2. There's nothing that's going to stop that from happening, right? If you make $10 and you spend $10, you're going to have zero left. That everybody understands that. But the thing is, how do you shift your mindset that when you make 10, you don't have to spend all 10? That's where the problem in personal finance really comes, is shifting the behavioral mindset. And again, that really starts off with just writing a reality check to really come to an understanding that I'm not as bad off as I think I am. Because actually, if you're living in this country, you're probably in the top 1% of the people in this world as far as income is concerned. So it's not necessarily a money issue a lot of times. A lot of times it's truly just behavior. But what happens is most financial advice comes from the approach of the money side. And I like to kind of switch it up, and they assume that you got all this money. I heard you ask a question about investing, and, that I don't ever start people off with investing first, because you can't begin to invest until you've, taken care of your debt. You've established a stability fund. There's some things that need to happen before you so-called invest, right? So, there's a process, and a lot of times people want to skip the process or skip the steps and still want to be successful. And one thing about finances and money is that that's not going to happen. You can't skip something and still be successful. You may be short-term, but long-term you're going to catch up with.
Man, that makes so much sense. So, but what is your take on how much a person should be saving money from their check? We always talk about you need to have some money tucked away for a rainy day. What do you say? I know you say there's steps that you have to take. Say if the person takes all those steps that you're talking about, and then now they want to get to the point where they're saving money. How much a person should be saving?
Good question. I like that. That's where you start off at. Saving, the general rule of thumb that the industry usually quotes is, 10% of your income, right? So if you always keep numbers simple. But so if you make $100, then you should be saving $10, right?
Oh my God! Well, you got 10% tax still. You got to do the taxes, then you got to do tithes. So you say I'm saving 20% now. Oh my God! Okay, let me wrap my head around it. Let me get it together. That's really 20%. You telling me, Coach?
Well, yeah. If you count in the fact of tithing and your savings, that's 20% of your income, right? And that's true, but that's the general rule of thumb. Because here's the thing with saving, and I will touch on tithing in a quick second. But the general rule of saving, that's the general rule, is the 10%, right? However, a lot of times people, again, the financial advice always takes into consideration that you got this money. But what I always tell people, again, is personal finance. What are you personally able to do? Because my thing is, you have to save something, right? Because Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, he said that the habit of saving is more important than the amount.
Wow. Yes. But start somewhere.
Start somewhere. If it's nothing but $1 or $5 a pay period, because what happens is when you create that habits are so powerful. They're so powerful in the fact that the marketers and the people who are trying to take your money out your pocket, they feed your habits so that you spend money with them. So what we have to do is feed our own internal habit to say, you know what, I'm going to set this money aside. I'm not going to touch this money. I'm going to set this aside. Even if I have to start with the $5, because what happens is when you create that habit and you start seeing that money build up, then you want to start increasing that. You want to start adding more to that. Because I always tell people this, especially for people who work a job or even entrepreneurs, specifically if you work for a job, you work 40 hours a week. Some people work 50, but you work 40 hours a week. I always ask people this one question: how many of those hours did you work for yourself? Because if you're spending all the money that you take in, then you're working for Comcast, you're working for Georgia Power, you're working for, Wells Fargo or the mortgage or whoever. You're working for all these people, and if you're not saving anything, then you're working for all of them people, and you will always be working for them.
You just stretched out working for everybody. Listen, okay, I like what you're saying so far. This is Preacher Brown. We're in a whole new element right now. We are in March the 1st. There are people that are either online, there are people that are chiming in, they're on the website, they're listening live in their car, radio station. We are in a season of right now waiting. Many people are waiting for their tax return, their tax refunds, and all of that to come about. And I guess I want to target the question of those who are at that point of receiving. And they have been working paycheck to paycheck. Every time I get a check, I'm paying this out. Every time I get a check, I got to pay this bill. For my listeners that are online, can you give them some nuggets on, and we're about to take a turn right now, how to do something with this tax return, whether it's investment or something, because there are people that have this spirit of living from paycheck to paycheck. Then there's also that same spirit of living from tax refund to tax refund.
Man, and I love how you keep saying spirit.
Yeah, it's a spirit. So I know you have this information, and I want you to give that to my listeners right now about that, the spirit of paycheck to paycheck and the spirit of tax return to tax return.
Man, you all up and through my alley with that spirit talk. Because a lot of people, and if you allow me just a second to address that, and then I can move on to some practical steps. And I'll try to address it quickly. I won't spend a lot of time on it. But when you say spirit, it just triggers because people don't understand that money is a spirit, right? Money is definitely a spirit. That's why it's called. That's why it's called currency, because it can either flow to you or away from you, right? But the beautiful part about money being a spirit is that if you're a believer, if you're a true believer of God, then we have power and authority and dominion over all spirits. So therefore, we have the power and the dominion and authority to bring that spirit under subjection to our way of being. That's why I say learn to manage your money so your money does not manage you. When you live in paycheck to paycheck or tax refund to tax refund, you're allowing that spirit to possess you. You're allowing that spirit to become your God, so to speak. And so now you're waiting each every 2 weeks or once a year, you're waiting to pay homage to this God when it shows up.
Wow.
And it's time to break that curse. It's time to break that curse. And again, that starts with a mindset. That's why Paul tells us to renew your mind daily. We have to renew our mind about, if you've always done it this way and it's still not working, then guess what? You might need to do something a little different. Right?
Wow.
And as far as tax refunds or any windfall of money, tax refunds, bonuses on job, promotion, whatever the case may be. First of all, tax refunds, I don't have time to really go into it, but I don't believe in tax refunds because that means you're giving the government a whole bunch of your money and you waiting for a whole nother year for them to give it back to you. And in that year, you could have been using that money. And then by the time they give it back to you a year later, because of inflation, the dollar they took from you is only worth about 96 cents now. So, you know, I don't really believe in refunds. But say, for instance, you got one. Say, for instance, you have one. The first thing you need to do with any windfall of money, this is the practical side. First thing you need to do is pause. Hit the pause button. When that refund check hits that bank account, hit the pause button. What do I mean by that? Stop. Sometimes doing nothing is the best thing you can do. Meaning, don't go on a balling spree. Don't book the cruise. Don't book the vacation. Don't run and buy man the outfits and the.
Wait a minute. Come on, go ahead.
Get him off the phone. Get him off the phone right now. He's telling people that to spend their refund check. You're hurting my feelings now.
Yeah, right. I know man might be mad at me right now, but you have to pause. And the reason why you pause is because you got to pause so that you can assess your financial picture. You know, are you behind on some bills right now? Do you need some car repairs? Do you need some home repairs? Do you need some health issues that you gotta straighten out? Take care of the stuff that you need to take care of. That's what.
Okay, get that going. I agree with that.
Okay, so that's what you're pausing for. Then you're pausing also so you can truly sit down and you come up with a spending plan. Some people call it a budget. I don't like calling it a budget because budget sounds constricting like a diet and people don't stay on those long. But I learned that people love to spend money. So if you come up with a spending plan, that's saying I'm giving every dollar that is in my possession an assignment. Again, I'm speaking to this spirit and I'm telling it what it is supposed to do. It's not going to speak to me. A spending plan. Every dollar that comes into your possession has to have an order, has to have a marching plan. This is March 1st. Tell your money how it needs to march. You know, because what happens is money, whether it's a windfall, whether it's a paycheck, it begins to look like surplus. And surplus is an illusion. You don't have a surplus. There's always something for your money to do. Always. Right? So we want to set a spending plan and resist that urge to do something immediately. And also you want to pause because you don't want to become the banker Kiki, right? People know you got this money, so they like, hey, can let me hold something, and you know, or when I get paid, or when I do this. No, you don't want to become a bank, and that's why it's important to create a financial plan because it makes it easier for you to say no, because what they're asking you to do is taking you off of your plan.
Right.
Okay, so I got to jump in here, and I'm gonna toss it back over there to Elder Lakiba Wallace. There's a woman in the Bible who had she was infested with a spirit of fortune tell, and the guys were using her so that she was able to tell people their history, their story, and all of that. And the guys got mad because Paul and Silas came out and say, hey, she got a fortune tell spirit. Anyway, they removed the spirit out of the woman. The men get mad. They throw Paul in jail, in prison. Okay. So we're going to pray that you do not have no issues, because you're now telling people to save, and folks don't like saving.
No, they don't like saving. That's a true statement. They don't like saving so much so that the last study they done said that upwards of 50, high 50s, almost 60% of the people in this country, in the United States of America, cannot survive a $400 emergency. Meaning that if something came into your life financially that cost you $400, it would mess up your finances. $400, right? 60% of the people. But I guarantee you, out of those 60% of those people, half of those 60% holding on to an $800 cell phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's not me.
All right.
I'm going to jump in here. I know, my God, that we only have a couple more seconds before the show comes to a close, but I just got to jump in here because you all up and through my house, because, a lot of people that know me know that that's one thing I don't spend a lot of money on. I don't spend a lot of money on a lot of things, but one thing I don't spend a lot of money on is a phone, okay? I don't spend a lot of money. My cell phone bill right now, I'm not ashamed of it. I get laughed at all the time, but the people who are laughing at me are the same people who are coming to me to borrow money. And my cell phone bill is literally $35. And Boost Mobile, shout out to Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile has a plan where if you allow them to run commercials on your phone, send certain ads to your phone, they'll give you a $5 discount. And that brings my phone bill down to $30. Y'all got to laugh at me if you want to.
Man,
it don't matter.
I got some commercials for your phone. I got some commercials for your phone.
Hey, if you're going to take $5 off, you can do it. But you're speaking truth, though. The people who are running around, they wait till income tax. They ball in April, May, June. But then July through December, Christmas come, they ain't got a quarter to buy their kids no toys. I'm just being real. Right. I wish we had more time. But you were talking that's so right.
Right. And the worst part about that is the people who are spending this tax refund money now, this is the worst time to spend the money because everybody know you got it. So they raise the prices on everything. People go and buy cars during this time. Any car salesman will tell you that they always raise the prices of cars around this time because they know people coming in there with that money and burning in their pockets.
Wow.
So it's not financially wise in any aspect. That's why you have to pause. And then if I will, I can give a quick little easy to remember thing that you do with any windfall. I call it the 3-pocket PAT plan. PAT. I always do acronyms. It makes it easy to remember. So it's the PAT plan, PAT. The P stands for pay down. When you get a windfall, you take a third of that money and you pay down whatever you need to pay down. Credit cards, debts, loans, whatever the case may be. The A in that plan, you take another third of the money and accumulate or save for the future. Whether you're saving up for a car, vacation, home, you're trying to add to your stability fund, whatever the case may be. And then the last third of that money is T, which is to treat yourself. So see, I'm not all hard on you. You can treat yourself with something, but don't treat yourself with the whole amount. Pay down, accumulate, and treat yourself. That's the PAT plan. And you divide the money up over that, and that'll give your money some type of marching order instead of it, telling you what to do.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you for just taking time being a guest on the Living Day by Day show. But before you go, you have to tell all the listeners how they can get in contact with you so they can get their money right.
Most definitely. The easiest way to get in contact with me is all social media is 360 Financed. That's finance with an ED on the end because the ED stands for education. So that's 360 Financed. And it's also the website, 360finance.com. So those are the easiest ways to get in contact with me. You can go to that website and actually set up a free consultation. I do free consultations to, see if you want to come a part of the coaching and having the coaching services and things like that. So again, 360-Financed, all social media, 360financed.com.
Awesome. Mr. Antonio Eubanks, thank you so much for being a guest on the Living Day by Day show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
My God, what an amazing show. We're going to definitely have to have him back on the show again.
He just scratched the surface.
Oh, my God, he was hitting some points there, but it's so true. And, and I know we only got about 3 minutes before we close, but it's prevalent. It happens among a lot of Americans, but it's mostly prevalent. And I ain't gonna say we because I ain't a part of that. They ball out April, May, June, and then you broke. You broke July through December money. And so we're not bashing anybody, but we're trying to get you right. We're trying to get you right. So if you do get a large tax refund back around this time, stop and pause, like Antonio Eubanks just told you. Make sure you stop and pause. Don't just be balling all out. You're just spinning all out of control. It's time out for that. It's time for you to make sure that you are financially wise. And so I'm excited. I'm definitely going to have him back. We're going to have him back on the Living Day by Day show again. Again, that was none other Antonio Eubanks, certified financial life coach. He gave you all his information. I mean, you take some time. Make sure that you stop by his website, all that good stuff, and get involved in what he is doing so you can get your money right. Well, guys, that is our show. I hate for our show to come to an end, but I know it has been great. I'm always learning something from our guests, but I'm always learning and wanting to learn how to do my money better, how to do it better. I just cashed in some stock myself, and before I cashed it in, I was like, should I do this or should I not do this? Should I do this? And it really helped out because, I just had this conference, so I had some things I had to do. So it's always good to put up because you never know when you'll need something. You just never know. But we thank y'all. I'm holding out. Boy, listen here right now. I'm in a holding spot. I promise you when I say I'm in a holding spot, I'm in a holding spot right now. But God is good. He is good. I promise you he is good. I told someone before I came on air, March is good. But April, ooh, Lordy Jesus, it is going to be an amazing month. It's going to be an amazing month. But thank y'all so much, all of the listeners and the supporters of the Living Day by Day show and 108 Praise Radio. We thank you for always riding with us. We thank you for tuning in to the Living Day by Day show every Thursday, guys, from 8 p.m. to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Spread the word. Let somebody know where they need to be every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. And, of course, that is the Living Day by Day show that airs on 108 Praise Radio with Elder Lakiba Wallace. Preach, Elder Brown, preach, and none other than comedian Eric E. Love Jordan. It goes down, guys, here on the You tune in. Make sure you check out the Living Day by Day magazine by going to livingdaybyday.net. You will not be disappointed. This airs the next Living Day by Day show. We want you to be blessed, stay in faith, stay in prayer, and watch God work. We love you real good.
Peace.